Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to the first episode of the Kis Uni Video Series. Kis Uni is a social impact startup that provides concise application guides and free one-on-one sessions with existing students. We are on a mission to make university admission counseling accessible to everyone in Pakistan. And today we are here with our very own founder, Zammad Khan, who's doing his undergrad from LUMS and is currently majoring in computer science. Zammad, how are you today?
I'm good, Alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm good, Alhamdulillah. So, सबसे पहले, let's start with where you applied, LUMS, obviously. So, did you apply to any other school other than LUMS?
So basically, why did I go to LUMS? Let's start from that. So both of my parents, they graduated from LUMS. तो बचपन से ही नाम सुनते आ रहे थे कि भाई बस बड़े हो क्या LUMS जाना है और LUMS एक बहुत अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटी है. So when I came in A levels, I just then started looking up universities that I wanted to go. And in Pakistan, I found that there were three universities which were offering the field that I wanted to pursue. That was computer science. So one was LUMS, one was NUST, and the other was FAST. So I thought that these three were the best options within Pakistan to pursue this field. So I had kept these options, but my priority was from day one LUMS. So I just had an ambition that I should just get into LUMS. And so I started working towards that. And the reason why I chose LUMS as my first choice was due to many reasons. Firstly, your family की बात थी. उसके अलावा, I think LUMS has a great international recognition outside in the foreign world. LUMS is recognized quite well, and with the undergrad degree from LUMS, I thought I would have a greater chance of going to a good grad school abroad. So that is one of the reasons why I chose LUMS. And apart from that, another reason was the great faculty of LUMS. So I think the professors in the School of Science and Engineering especially are doing some great work, and the field of research is quite interesting. So I thought it would be great to work with them and listen to their experiences and learn from that. And lastly, I think that the alumni network of LUMS is quite strong. So after around 15 to 20 years, you see that your peers are at good positions in different multinational companies, and they're quite successful. So I think that's a big reason why I applied to LUMS as well. So I think that's why I am here now. So that's sums
Okay,
it up.
so काफी LUMS की इच्छाएं की थी. So, if you could, what is your favorite part of LUMS? Like faculty mentioned ki hai, alumni network mentioned ki hai, but what is like the one thing that's like LUMS के बारे में जो सबसे अच्छी है?
Personally, I like the sports best because बचपन से ही मुझे sports का बहुत शौक है. और when I came to LUMS, I just saw the swimming pool. It's a remarkable swimming pool. बहुत अच्छा है. बाकी football ground काफी अच्छा है. Sports complex is really good. So I think they have good facilities of sports, and whichever sport you want to play, you can just play it there. And दोस्तों के साथ भी खेलने में मजा आता है. And वैसे it's a good pastime and a healthy activity. So the sports factor of LUMS is quite good, which I like a lot, apart from all the other things that is.
Okay, great. So you're studying in Said Babar Ali School of Sciences. So
Yes.
सबसे पहले just tell the audience about what were the prerequisites for the school. Like कोई specific test देना पड़ा था या extracurriculars कौन सी करनी चाहिए थी. So थोड़ा उसके बारे में elaborate करें.
All right. So first of all, I think to get into LUMS, you need to give some sort of an admission test, which is either the SAT or the LCAT. So one of those you can give that. I opted for the SAT, so I gave that. And for the School of Science and Engineering, there was another test called the SSC subject test, which I had to give. So I gave that as well. And that was quite a difficult test. So I think that a new test has been introduced, which is the aptitude test. So I think from this year onwards, that is going to be applied. So I think the SSC test was a determining factor for the students that were coming into SSC. So I think one should prepare well for that, and especially the new test that is coming in. So I think that's a huge factor which is going to decide whether you get into SSC or not.
So you mentioned that you either take the SAT or the LCAT. So you took the SAT. So any
Yep.
specific resource material, koi specific books that you think students should go through to get a good score?
All right. So personally, I consulted Khan Academy for the most parts of my preparation. So that really helped me. Apart from that, there were a few other books. I think one was the College Panda book, and another was the English book by Erika Meltzer. But I think apart from the preparation, what's important for SAT is that you have to do well on the exam day. So I've seen people with really good scores in their practice tests above 1500, but they didn't perform well on the exam day and they ended up with scores far less than their expectations. So I think you should have a good night's sleep, be well prepared for the exam, and keep your focus in the exam.
Okay, and एक और major thing जो application में it bugs a lot of students, extracurricular activities. So what did your extracurriculars look like? और अगर कोई बच्चा है जिसने अभी तक इतना नहीं किया, so he still has a month till the admission cycle closes. So what would you suggest कि वो, what can he do during this time period to make his application stand out or to set a good impression?
All right. So I think extracurriculars are quite important to get into LUMS, because if you're not that good academically, then a good extracurricular record can, get you in. So I think I personally, did all sorts of, activities that were offered at my school, be it debates, Model United Nations, or different, acts of community service. But in this short time, in the 1 month that is left, I think students can opt for different community service activities. That will be good if they just volunteer, and also they can go to the website Coursera. I think that's offering some good courses, and they can get a certificate from there, and that's going to be good in this short time that they have.
Okay, so you mentioned you used to debate, you used to do MUNs. So यही क्या LUMS में भी होता है? Like, could you elaborate on the societies that are there at LUMS?
All right, so yeah, Model United Nations ki there is a society which is called LUMS, so that is quite a big society over here. And apart from that, debates ki bhi society hai, and a few other societies I would like to mention about LUMS. One is the Entrepreneurial Society, which many people would have heard of before coming to LUMS. I did as well. So that is one of the big societies. Apart from that, there's the Society for Promotion of Engineering and Sciences, and that is also one of the good societies of LUMS, with an annual event about science, all about drones and different stuff you can do with science.
So one last thing, which is probably the most difficult thing on the application, is the personal statement. So Thora, bata do, what did your personal statement look like? What stuff should candidates definitely include? How should they formulate the story? So could you guide a bit through that?
All right, so yeah, personal statement is quite important, and that is the determining factor of your application. मतलब आपके grades जितने भी अच्छे हों, अगर आपकी personal statement उतनी up to the mark नहीं है, तो I think your chances of getting an admission are not that high. So basically, my personal statement was based on Tesla. So basically, when I first sat in Tesla back in 2016, I was really fascinated about the mechanism used to create it, and it was that day that I decided कि बस कंप्यूटर साइंस में जाना, और ये आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की जो फील्ड है ये काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग है. सो आई डिड दैट, देन आई एक्सप्लेन माई लाइफ इवेंट्स व्हाट हैपेंड, एंड आई रिलेटेड दैट विद हाउ they gave me lessons, and they trained me for and made me what I am today. So, and I didn't add anything that I didn't do. So most people they say कि वही एप्लीकेशन अच्छी लगेगी तो इसके लिए बस ऐसी कोई चीज़ डाल देता है जो हमने की नहीं है, लेकिन यू डोंट हैव टू डू दैट. सो जस्ट बी रियल. जो आपने किया है उसको ही आप जो है अच्छे वर्ड्स में, और उसको जो है ना उससे ही आप एक बना लेंगे किस तरह उनने आपको एक अच्छे इंसान में बनाया जो आज आप हैं. तो आई थिंक दैट्स ऑल, एंड कीप इट रियल. Just make sure it's crisp, and always write it yourself. So one other thing is people usually go to others and say I want you to write my personal statement. So don't do that. Just write it yourself, because no one can explain what happened in your life better than yourself. So the emotions you put in those words, they are the absolute best, and I think you should stick to that.
Yeah. So Thora, ये भी बता दो, so far I think एक semester you're done with one semester, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm done with the first.
how was your first semester? Kuch kya kiya? Any embarrassing situation for you? What was your best moment, 3 highlights? So Thora bata do, make students excited to apply to LUMS.
So the first semester was a roller coaster ride full of emotions and drama and all the last minute assignment submissions and all that. So I think the best part of this semester was the World Cup that was happening. So I think all those screenings and in the Pakistan-India match especially, that was a great part of the semester, and I really enjoyed that. Everyone rejoicing at the win, and that was really good feeling. And apart from that, I think the academics were quite baffling for me because I didn't expect them to be so tough, but when I came and I saw started getting my marks, I was like, no, I think I should start studying harder, और बस जो है रोज मेहनत करेंगे तो ही नंबर आएंगे. तो that was the scene, और अब बस hoping for getting a good return for the work I have put in.
So, any advice you'd give to your younger self when applying? Anything you could have done different?
So one advice that I would give to my younger self was that take part in more extracurricular activities, because when I came to LUMS, I saw that people, were quite skilled in that department, be it getting prizes at national level, possessing some other unique skill, which I thought if I had would be great as well. So I think there's a concept that has developed that grades ही सब कुछ होते हैं, और grades आपके मतलब काफी important हैं. Grades important हैं, but apart from that, I think extracurricular is quite important as well, and that what makes you all rounded, and that is what makes you a skilled individual. So I think you should have a best of everything, and along with grades, I think a good extracurricular record is also recommended.
So, Abhi, you just mentioned that your peers, did a lot of extracurriculars. Each one of them has something unique. So, isko leke, how would you define the student body at LUMS? Like in general, what has been your experience? Thora, give an example of your interaction with the student body, anything fun you guys did, and any exciting project you guys started. So
one thing about LUMS is the diversity. I would say that you meet people from every part of the country, or even foreigners as well. So you get to interact with different people coming from different cultures, and getting to know about their cultures and stuff. So when I came to the hostel, I interacted with different people, and as time progressed, we discussed with each other about things that used to happen back where we live. So it was quite intriguing to listen to what happened there, and the same concept being applied to where I lived. So that was a good exchange of ideas and stories. And I think apart from that, the student body is quite, I think the top students of Pakistan come to this university, and that is no lie, because each field is quite competitive, and in my class as well. So I first thought that before coming to LUMS that मैंने कोई बड़ा तीन मारा है, LUMS में आ गया हूँ, but when I came here, I saw कि हर बंदा जो यहाँ पे आ रहा है वो ऐसे ही है. So that's something you encounter here, कि आप पहले जितने अच्छे थे वो तो थे ही, लेकिन जो अब यहाँ सारे आ रहे हैं that are equally good as you, or might even be better. So that is one thing you have to accept, and you have to rise through them, and excel.
okay, so let's start wrapping this up. So any advice you'd give to people who are applying in this cycle? Any last minute tips for their applications or something?
All right, so regarding the application, I think personal statement की बात तो हो गई. So apart from that, I think details जो आप mention कर रहे हैं, make sure your grades and everything, the numbers, the certificate numbers and everything like that, that is precise, because अगर उस पे कोई जो है confusion वगैरह होती है तो वो मतलब उसको entertain नहीं करते. तो उसके लिए you have to be very careful. And I think apart from that, you're good to go. Just the test dates and stuff, make sure if you're giving the LCAT or the SSC aptitude test, make sure you get the time and date right. Otherwise, वो दोबारा नहीं होता, and that is not going to get you an admission. So just get those things right, and if you do that, I think you're good to go. So best of luck to those applying. I think you will get in, inshallah.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have reached the end of this video. If you still have any more questions regarding the LUMS admissions, feel free to visit our website, www.kisuni.org, or feel free to DM us on our Instagram page. Thank you so much.